Andrew Wiggins is just downright disrespectful. Here's why.
Very well respected.
Glass. Oh, Wiggins.
Ball.
Jabs.
Driving and coup. Steps back and fires and fills Wiseman. Wiggins fires. Yep. Move. Sets up Wiggins.
Game for James Wiseman. Wiggins hitting a three. He's on fire. And Detroit's got to take time.
Andrew Wiggins. That's it. That's the video. Psych. They said the Warriors are a lottery team, that we should just throw in the towel because Andrew Wiggins is a terrible player. He will never be KD, that Kelly Oubre is not Klay Thompson, and that Steph Curry can't carry a team. Well, while we Warriors love Klay and we appreciated having KD, they are forgetting one very important fact. What made the Warriors great isn't having just one strong player, or even a team stacked with all-stars, but the ability of any one of our top 3 or even 4 options to be able to go off at any given time. With the gravity created by Steph Curry, second and third options are given an opportunity to be the best versions of themselves. Andrew Wiggins' best game in a Warriors uniform in all its swaggerific glory came tonight against the Detroit Pistons. If you watched Wiggins tonight without your glasses on, you could have sworn that KD just put on a Warriors uniform, as Andrew Wiggins in the fourth quarter with a come-from-behind rush blitzed the Detroit Pistons defense with a lethal dose of devastating step-backs, stalling the Motor City without any hope for recovery. And that was without Steph on the floor. Now, let's get down to business. Steph Curry was still the overall best player on the floor tonight, having very consistent shooting throughout the entire game and keeping us within a few points of the Pistons. There was a lack of rebounding in the first half, however the team came back in the second half with the fight that was missing earlier in the game, and the benefits were immediate. Between 2 threes by Steph, a 3 and reverse layup by Toscano Anderson early in the third quarter, the Warriors punched it on a 17-5 run for a 9-point lead after being down 10 earlier in the first half. This quick display of brilliance when the team is in rhythm and fighting for possessions on the board shows that this team is not a ragtag bunch of YMCA junkies. These guys got game. The Pistons managed to sneak back into the game, but this temporary lull in the Warriors' offense only meant something more sinister was to come. While Wiggins was on pace to improve over his last game with the conclusion of the fourth quarter, something happened. Andrew Wiggins became a completely different player. Backed in the corner and down 3 with Doumbouya covering him, Wiggins dazzles on a step-back 3, rising up and shooting over Doumbouya to hit the game-tying shot. This was to be the last time this game was tied. Wiggins was about to cook. No Curry, no problem. A quick floater by Wanamaker and a stop the other way when Wiseman gets a block and a steal, runs the floor and slam dunks it home quickly set the tone. If you're just tuning into this channel and you're a Bucks fan, this is your favorite player's favorite player. Feeding off the energy of Wiseman and the shift in the momentum, Wiggins comes back and pulls up for a mid-range jumper as it was clear his confidence was now sky high. One man stood between the Pistons and the Warriors relinquishing control of this game. I assure you, this was not on Wiggins' list of things to do. Wiggins fires another dagger, this time another step-back 3, cooking without the chef, sending the Pistons into a timeout of false hope. A quick dunk by Jeremy Grant to quell the searing heat of Andrew Wiggins was in vain, as Wiggins didn't give the Pistons a chance to breathe before sending another step-back dagger down the throat of the hapless Pistons. Steph soon after comes in, and together they close out this chapter and end the suffering of the gainless Detroit team, ending this road trip. And just like that, after a slow start to the season, we are 2-2 between the duo of Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins. Dub Nation is getting ready to wreak havoc in the NBA, and hopefully I will be right here to bear witness. Wiggins had been poised for a breakout game, having continuously improved in every consecutive game so far this season, and played like a man possessed in the fourth. He hasn't quite gotten to the point where if he shoots it, we all feel like it's going in, but with the confidence that he played tonight, it sure seemed like he was certain it was going in when he shot it. Wiggins finished the night with 27 points, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds in 38 minutes of playing time, and a season-high player impact rating of 38.3. His first game this year was an 11.8, and it has only gone up since. This trend is very promising and shows that the team is still growing and getting better. Wiggins has improved in every single game they've played so far in the regular season. Considering Wiggins' performance tonight, there's a lot more that he has to offer that we have yet to see. A performance like this is more in line with what the Warriors front office saw in Wiggins and why they believe he has the talent to take the next step in his career and be that piece for the Warriors. To watch him play alongside Steph Curry, there is a lot to be excited for this coming season. In tonight's game, Steph Curry brought the heat, dishing and swishing like it was 2016 all over again. If you haven't realized it yet, that stroke of pure genius that was gifted to the Splash Brother has been awoken. The confidence in his shot not only helped Steph, but it inspired his teammates as well. Coming off screens, taking advantage of a team not getting back on defense. I mean really, you're just going to let Steph Curry get past you in transition for a 3-point shot. Okay. Did you forget this man's name? Steph finished the night with 31 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. Another world-class performance. I keep hearing Steph isn't capable of doing that at this point in his career. This was good for a game-high player impact rating of 45.3, which is just about his average in 2016. Steph has also improved his performance in every consecutive game this season. With this momentum going forward, as long as Wiggins can maintain somewhat close to tonight's level of performance, expect Steph to be able to light it up from 3 or in the mid-range. Steph's mid-range game is something that doesn't get the attention it deserves because of his exceptional ability to shoot from distance. If Steph can develop a good pick-and-roll game with Wiseman, even somehow incorporating Draymond the way they did tonight with Toscano Anderson, this Warriors offense becomes a real problem. Kelly Oubre tonight has improved for his 3rd game in a row. While his outside shot still isn't falling, he has been a menace on defense and devastating when driving to the rim. If you didn't already know, Kelly does not believe in layups, and I wouldn't argue with him on that. Between Kelly and Wiseman getting to the rim, there is no lack of excitement when these two are on the court. Kelly shot just 25% from 3 tonight, however, even a little progress there is still progress. He ended the night actually shooting over 50% with 6 of 10 field goals. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks with a player impact rating of 18.0. It also helps that most of his shots come right at the rim. He is still a terror in transition, and I expect his shot to also get better in the next few games, and at some point become consistent with a few high-impact games throughout the season. He still lacks the ability to set up his teammates, as Wiggins has been doing of late. However, as he becomes more familiar with playing with Steph and Draymond, this will certainly improve. Pascal, Wanamaker, Toscano Anderson, and Looney all provided well-needed support tonight. Pascal and Wanamaker offensively, and Toscano Anderson and Looney defensively by putting the clamps on the Pistons. Toscano had a great night facilitating, however got caught a few times setting screens. It would certainly help the team if he could continue to improve. He is a very hard-working player, and if he builds off tonight's performance, would provide good backup minutes for Draymond. Looney was again helpful off the bench in setting screens and helping with plays, providing that extra hustle to help us win those extra possessions, things that were sorely missed before and were still missing in the first half of tonight's game. With just a few minutes off the bench, Pascal provided a nice punch by getting to the line, knocking down his jumpers, or finishing. This is a refreshing improvement for the second-year player, as the first 2 games saw him struggle, especially on the defensive end. Wanamaker was aggressive in getting into the paint despite the Mack truck that was parked out front. He did have better luck the second time around putting up the floater. He also did well on defense in laying the smack back on the Mack. This defensive intensity and the presence on the boards is what the Warriors need to have all game going forward if we want to win against better teams. I was very impressed with our team in general, who likely would have blown out the Pistons if our free throws were more online and we didn't get killed by the Pistons grabbing offensive boards. We shot 50% from the field, which is very efficient, especially compared to the Pistons' 38%, but this means nothing if we keep letting them get more shots. This is why my player impact rating is very different from the player efficiency rating. A team can play efficient but still lose to an inefficient team that gives themselves that much more opportunities to score. This is how we managed to beat the Chicago Bulls despite us playing a less efficient game. With steals and the Bulls' turnovers, we were able to get additional opportunities for second chance points that the Bulls didn't have. Tonight we were on the other end, but managed to stay in the game due to the heroics I mentioned earlier in the video. Our guys have been very good in forcing turnovers, getting steals, however we need to convert on those turnovers, otherwise we're not contributing to winning. With that being said, our guys played a much more cohesive game and you can see the pieces starting to come together as they execute in a much more synchronized manner and with fluidity. As guys get even more comfortable and gel, I expect this team to perform in a similar fashion against better teams. Add Draymond to this team and you will begin to understand why I have such high expectations for this year's Warriors. One last thing, a good measure of your team's core metrics is how you perform against lower ranked teams. Every win requires effort, so don't take it out of context when I say winning against below 500 teams is an opportunity that shouldn't be squandered. Losses against sub 500 teams hurt us the most because our wins become more difficult to achieve if we need to get them from teams that are above 500. Losing to bad teams is something the Warriors should try desperately to avoid. Our performance on this road trip was satisfactory given the situation, and I'm proud of our team. We have the same record as the favored Brooklyn Nets as well as the Los Angeles Lakers. We have every right to believe this team can compete this year. And that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to share. If you guys have any requests, don't be afraid to make them. I've done a couple requests in the past as long as they're reasonable. I read all the comments even though I may not get to respond to all of them. If I did, I'd never have time to make any new videos, so don't worry, your words are not falling on deaf ears. Thanks again. Till next time. Swish.
A block so hard, Smitty gets served. Call me Lonzo Ball, bitches get swerved.
Usually I don't get down with these girls, but tonight it's on my mind, so I might eat these words. I just wanna